Yo guys, welcome back to another League Racing video on the channel. Today we are here with WR Tier 5 round number 3, the Spa Grand Prix. Now firstly, I want to apologise for the fact we have no game audio this week. I was trying to record a video on a different game, with my friends, that I thought it'd be quite funny. Wasn't sure if it was going to be uploaded on this channel or if I was going to make a separate one. Either way, that didn't end up working, so you can forget about that idea. But also it messed up my game sound and I didn't realise when I got up the recording for this. So unfortunately that is not going to work today. These are the standings from the last two rounds. We are currently sat P7 after a P9 and a P5, and unfortunately we aren't in a championship fight, but then again I didn't expect to be in one. I'm very happy to be in the position I am currently going into this round, and as we go into our final qualifying lap, we are sat in P16 and there are only 17 drivers, so we need to lock in and get a lap in, or we're just not going to have a good race at all. But we are a 10th up going into the comms. We're sending it as much as we can. We did recently have this race in PSGL and I did set a decent lap time for that, so I feel like I've got good practice. We overtake a sideways McLaren, which is a little bit distracting, but at least it was in a straight line, so it doesn't really matter. We're sending it as much as we can. We're not gaining as much time as I'd like, but overall it hasn't really been a bad lap. Through P1 now, we actually missed the apex, which is going to lose us a little bit of time. There was definitely an opportunity to gain there. We're going to absolutely send it through here. It's such a difficult corner to get right. We do get it done pretty smoothly though. We are 4/10ths up right now. Braking at the curbs, trying to chuck it in again. It's not a bad lap at all. We are 5/10ths up. But the last lap was really bad. We are now 17th. We are last going into the final bus stop chicane. We're going to absolutely send it, but we do miss the apex. We lock up slightly, and that compromises our left. And we get a run up to the line, which is still 5.5 tenths. And where will that put us? That will put us P10.
I lost a lot of time at the last corner, but I'll take it.
But we lost so much time at the last corner. I think there was maybe a tenth or two in there. And that would have put us maybe P7.
You don't take it.
But there wasn't much more in that. It was a very solid lap. It was really just the last corner that was lacking. But anyway, we're sat P10, our teammate P11. And that gives us a good opportunity to maybe work together in the race. And we aren't sat with our teammate in VC. That is Casper, who is in the Merc. He is just here for the vibes. Because, it's very boring to do league races on my own. Even though it helps me lock in. But either way, starting on the mediums, it is 5 red lights and away we go. We are getting a decent start for once. We're actually overtaking a car on the right hand side. We're going to send it around the outside. We lock up a lot into turn 1. There's 2 cars on our inside. Marco lags backwards through us. So we're just going to absolutely take that free position. We're actually up into P8. We've overtook Thomas in the Aston. And up ahead, the cars are going side by side through our rouge. We actually pick up a warning on lap 1, but we get a nice run on the Ferrari and the V-carb. And we're going to make the run up the Kemmel straight, trying to burn all our battery, but our wings aren't giving us much to work with. The V-carb goes around the outside as we try and get a move here. They make contact. We do a little switchback. Going to try and do it again, see if they run each other off-road. They don't. They keep it clean enough. And we're going to try and hang it around the outsides of the Ferrari. The car up ahead's going a bit wide. It's just chaotic on the first lap. But we are probably going to settle in now. That is the drama done for the opening lap. And we're actually up 2 positions. And if you've been watching my PSGL, if you've been watching my PSGL videos, my starts have been great. And actually, the Ferrari goes wide, and we're gonna make a move again. We're gonna try and go around the outside. We brake later. We leave him the space, and he's not gonna be able to hang around the outside again. So he backs out of it, and we make up another position. But he's actually gonna look around the outside, and we leave him the space. But we really shouldn't have, because he'd backed out. We didn't have any reason to give him space, as he's actually forced off track by Daniel Mass, I think, behind us. And, I was talking about how getting up to P8 was a good start. And as we're doing that, we actually get up into P7. And on the end of the first lap, there's a massive send by our teammate.
My teammate's
and he goes completely straight on. He nearly actually kills us. But I did see the red arrow. And then we managed to just get out the way. And now Daniel's on our outside. We're going to brake later into turn 1. We're going to try and cover off the switchback as well. And we managed to hold on to the position because our teammate compromised us massively. And you heard me say, my teammate's brake broke, because there is no way that he did that on purpose or outbroke himself, because he just went straight on full speed. And we've actually moved ahead all the way to lap 8 already, as nothing happened. literally the most boring stint you've ever seen in your life. Wash goes off track up ahead. He's just been in front of us. He's got lower wings than us. And we're going to try and go for a move into the bus stop. We're going to try and line it up. Going to go to the inside. He defends a little bit. We outbreak ourselves. We go very deep. And we slide. But we are going to make a very aggressive play. And we're going to go for an undercut. We lose our tyres again. And I think I was maybe going to stay out one more lap. But after that massive slide, I knew these tyres were going to be over. And you can hear Casper say that undercut's going to be insane. And that's why we're going for this strategy. You know, we had the most boring stint in P7. We were maybe 3-4 seconds off the leading train, and we're not supposed to be in the fight for the win. But obviously, if I'm going to have a chance to go for it, I'm going to go for the win. And we're going to just use our fresh tyres now on the Haas. Daniel Mass actually boxed behind us. He also picked up a 10-second penalty. But we're going to see the effects of the undercut as we're coming through the bus stop. Everyone else is boxed. Everyone bar one Haas who had to stay out because his teammate stayed out. And I believe the same happened with the Ferrari as well. But we're running so low on battery, but we're overtaking so many people out the pits, and we're gaining so many positions. We get turn 1 nailed. We've had a really good outlap. And up ahead, that is actually the top 4 train. These were the leaders. And we've undercut our way 4 seconds into the leading train off of 1 lap earlier in the box. And that is just insane. We're going to burn some battery just to try and make a move on Vettel, but we just don't have any to use. We're literally burning on 0%. So that's not an issue. I don't really want to get past. It was just seeing what was possible. And behind us as well, that was the guy in P5. He's a bit behind us now as well, which is just perfect. We undercut into the ideal position. And we are now in the lead train, which this is going to be pretty difficult to keep with because these guys are already a lot faster than I am. They were like maybe 5/10 quicker than me in qualifying. And in the race, I'd argue I'm even slower. But we're just going to really have to try and stay with them. And we're about to get... Yeah, David got into our DRS behind us. And onto the next lap. These are when everyone else is finally boxing. It's a very early pit stop for everyone, really. I don't think if I made that move, anyone else would have boxed on lap 10. I'm not too sure, though. But either way, we're coming out the pits, and we undercut him by a decently long amount as well. And the kick actually stays in front of him, which is really good for us. Because now that gives us a buffer.
Nice.
And Casper's now in P10, and he was running in the bottom 3. And
I undercut like 5 seconds, I swear.
Yeah, I know. And he was pretty surprised that we were in the positions we were. We've managed to make a little race for ourselves here. And absolutely, we're going to try and make that worth it. Cutting ahead a lap. We are nearly falling out of the DRS of Vettel up ahead. And it's around 9/10 the gap. But there's a yellow flag behind us. Daniel Mass is retired. And we're just about going to keep in the DRS. But by burning our battery to stay there, that puts us under a lot of pressures from Thunderino behind us. And we've just got no ERS and no DRS to defend this. And he overtakes us before we actually hit the DRS detection point, the DRS activation point. So he's going to be ahead of us. He's on 1 lap pressure. He is a lot quicker than me. So I'm not too bothered about this. I nearly pick up a track limits warning, but we actually managed to not do that, which I'm very surprised and happy with, because especially through P1, that's going to be a really difficult corner to stay in track with, especially since we got a warning on lap 1 as well. And I think we actually got a second warning on the second lap. So we have given ourselves like 21 laps to do without getting a single warning to get a penalty, which is really difficult. And if you were paying attention to the times in the top left, we actually lost DRS to Thunderino here, and we ran really deep trying to push to stay with him. And he actually just caught me napping, I'll be so honest. Through Blanchimont and run up to the bus stop, I stopped burning because he stopped burning. But then he actually just started burning again and caught me completely off guard. I'll hold my hands up. I made a big mistake there, and we're trying to stay within the 1 second. But again, similar to what happened when Thunderino caught us,
man. GG, yeah, but have the position, mate. Just teleport me back half a tenth.
Yeah, we actually got a lot of frame drops and lost quite a lot of time from that, and then that just basically gives David a position, and that puts us under threat from Casper behind us, who does have a 3 seconds. But again, he was really quick in the first stint, and he was really quick in qualifying. So if he gets past us, he is likely going to pull away that 3 seconds. So we really need to fight and defend this position. But the frame drops really just lost me that position to the Sauber, which is really annoying, but it is what it is, I guess. Like, it's just F125. We have a massive moment out of turn 1, and that's going to put us on the back foot of the DRS again on the run-up to Eau Rouge. And we are barely in it, But again, we just have no battery. Our battery management has really not been great this race so far. Every time we are just about to lose DRS, we never have ERS to defend the position back again up the Kemmel Straight, and it's partly because of my setup, because I have higher wings, I think. It's only a few clicks, but you can just tell with the way these guys are just flying past me. We don't have the best straight line speed today, and on Spa, you're obviously going to need the straight line speed, so that's a little bit annoying. We managed to keep within Casper's DRS pretty comfortably on the next lap, but again, we're actually just going to lose the DRS because we're burning on 0% again. He makes a move on David, but now it's likely that we're not going to stay in this DRS because we have to push so hard, and we just don't have the wings or the battery to really do it. We are within the 8 tenths right now, but it's not looking great, and you can see it's around 9.5 tenths going through Stavlo. And we do have a lot of battery this time, but we're just going to have to burn it here because we have fallen out the DRS at this point, and I need to burn all my ERS here, but I also don't want to burn all my ERS because, you know, I need some of that for the Kemmel Straight. But that's us out of the DRS, and we're in P7 right now, outside the DRS of P6. AMG and the McLaren behind us, around 1.8 seconds, and he is also on fresher tyres, and he is also quicker than me. Yet again, it's quite a common thing to say that these guys are quicker than me when we race in this tier, because these guys are so quick. And going through turn 1, we might have a chance to stay within the DRS of the kick here, as he did make a little mistake, but no. 1.1 seconds.
Gotta hope these front guys start fighting if I'm going to get anything more than 7th.
Yeah, we gotta hope the front guys start fighting and then cause a backup in the traffic, and then we can maybe capitalize on it. But cutting ahead to lap 18, that's the next lap after I said that. Again, burning on 0% battery. AMG just gonna easily fly past us, really no issue. He is also low on battery, but he is just on the fresher tires. He's on the lower wings, not gonna be a threat. Or he was gonna be a threat. He's always gonna get past. That's what I'm trying to say. We're in P8 now, and if you look at the top left, P9, LMB, and the Alpine is 6.8 seconds behind us, and that gap's actually only been dropping because we've lost DRS to McLaren now. But it really shouldn't be an issue because the gap to LMB was around 4 seconds, I believe, at an earlier point in the stint, and he's just battling so hard and holding up that massive train. So he's not going to be an issue. And unfortunately, the max is probably going to be P8 now because the car ahead is actually going to make a mistake. He's actually going to run off the track, cut the chicane, and we're going to have a bit of a switchback. I'm actually misremembering this race horribly. And we're going to make a move, but actually, with the big gap we had to the cars behind, I probably should have dropped back because we've just put ourselves in the exact same position we've been in for this entire race. We're running up our Rouge, going on to one of the longest straights in the calendar, with no ERS and no DRS. Like, I'm really not doing a good job of learning while the race is going on. You would think I would have actually just played some DRS games with AMG this time, but no, I just thought, you know what, mate, I'm gonna be nice. We're just gonna give you the position right back, which, you know, it just kind of is what it is. Like, I wasn't thinking too much in the moment. It's very difficult to think too hard when you're driving on no line on this game, especially for me, as I'm pretty new to it. We are doing a pretty good job, and we're actually in the DRS of AMG. His tyres have kind of fallen off now, and it gives us an off chance we might be able to do something, but then we immediately mess that up by locking up the front right massively into the final corner. And on this lap, I checked my tyres. They're on around 70%, and yeah, I mean, it's not about making it to the end because we will just make it to the end. The puncture range isn't until around 80%. We're not going to burn around 10% in this lap.
I think I'm like 3 wide up at the front.
You hear me saying, I think they're going 3 wide at the front, but I've actually got no reason to think that because
one of them to die.
They were just close, and I'm just kind of clutching on straws. I'm kind of coping, thinking that something will happen, which, you know, it probably isn't. Right? These are decent drivers. If they make a mistake, they're likely not going to fall down too far. And then, yeah, onto the final lap, about to get into the bus stop chicane for the first time. And actually, we did pick up a penalty on the final lap. I was pushing a little bit, just seeing if maybe something would happen up ahead, if I can do anything. But we have such a big 10-second gap to the car behind. It really wasn't an issue. And we're going to cross the line, and that is going to be P8. And Casper had a 6 seconds of penalties, but even if we didn't get that 3, we were still going to miss out on overtaking him. And that is where we ended. Yeah, there was no penalties afterwards. That is just P8 on the road. And that's P9 in the first race, P5 in the second, and now P8 in the third. And, you know, it's solid, I guess. Like, it's alright. It's better than I thought I'd do when I got announced into this tier. But anyway, Lumi won the race. Mario finished in second, Vettel in third. These are the standings now. Lumi leads the way with 62 points with 2 wins out of the last 3. We are still in P7, which is completely fine because we're only 3 points off of P5, and we might still be able to make a run for that in the rest of the season. Next round is going to be Kota, and I'm quite looking forward to that because that is one of my best tracks online. With Outline, it's a bit of a different story, but it is a track I really love driving, and it usually produces some really fun races. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys that one. And if you did enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.